This DJ's so funky, man.
On 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Welcome to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex, coming to you straight from the heart, where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. I am so glad to have you all here today, because here, serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. I wanted to let you know, if you have any questions, comments, or show requests, you can reach us at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's for any food for spirit segments, tips on just cool little recipes, motivational tips, just a whole lot of things. You can also find this show, podcast broadcast, on, I believe it will be your left hand side. And it's a whole lot of things in there. It's goodness bottled up into a beautiful blog. So that's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. Also, as always, you can reach us at our email support at realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com. That's realdoubledosechannel@yandex.com. So yeah, thank you for helping us, ignite the hearts and spark, that ignition we need to keep moving and accelerating forward. Happy 2017 once again. And I hope you heard the last segment on New You, New Year. That was powerful. And because of that powerfulness, let me just tell you this, my voice is kind of lost. It might sound better. It might not, but I'm trying to be edgy on, keep a tempo on how I'm sounding so my voice won't go off course too much. So if you hear any little riffs or raps going on, or raspiness, my good friend likes to say, just please bear with me. The season in Minnesota can be very, very chilly, and negative 30s and negative 40s and minus 11s, glare ice. It kind of adds a little salt and sugar with the, stuff you're feeling with a little bit of sour, so. But count it all joy. We're still alive. We're still here. So what I wanted to bring here today was a little bit more. Everything is always going to be a slice of everyday life. So when I put the comments, or should I say the title on it, it's preferably what it is all about. But we always touch into different things going on with it. And I appreciate everyone that's a part of the journey, and all of you who make RDDC what it is, because all of us are the real double dose of life. I mean, every one of our stories, every one of our life is a real double dose, triple dose, quadruple dose, whatever you want to say. But right now we're on the double. But at the end of the day, I wanted to talk about the value system we place upon ourselves. I believe it was Dr. Eric Thomas. He was saying about how he started off on a different level, talking to one of the greats, which is Mr. Proctor, Bob Proctor, and how he valued himself at a certain numeral that he was giving out for his services. And from where he came from Detroit, or, the streets, and being a high school dropout, how basically it was a blessing to him. It was stepping up on high ground, from where he was starting at. And Mr. Proctor had told him, well, what are you doing? You're selling books, you're doing this, you're still doing this? And he was kind of like almost insulted, like, whoa, what do you mean? This is here for my coaching. Supposed to be here to learn, not to be insulted. And he made a joke out of it. But he said, well, ask them for $20,000 next time they want you to do something. So he goes, okay. Now, I guess 6 weeks later or so, he talked to him, or 6 months later or something like that. And he said, how's it going? He's like, $20,000. I'm asking for it, and they're giving it to me. He said, well, that's still not good. And he's, Dr. Thomas is kind of like, what do you mean? You just told me $20,000 to ask instead of the $10,000 I was getting. Is this a joke? So basically what it comes down to, narrowed down, He said, well, if everybody's complying to what you're asking for, that means you're not valuing yourself enough. Ask for $100,000. And he said he was blown away. But when he started doing that and accelerating and elevating himself to where the world or everybody else saw his value system instead of where he came from, the problem was, as he said, Mr. Proctor was saying, well, basically, you're still seeing yourself as a high school dropout. You're still seeing yourself as a single parent home. You're still seeing yourself as that kid who was walking the streets of Detroit. You are not looking at the fact of who you are now and who you've become inside as well as outside to the world and yourself. You're looking at yourself from the inner person that you are. You're still that 17-year-old child stuck in your mind. Now, what I'm getting to about this value system is that's the way we see ourselves. And I have my own thing. And I want to say give credit to, Eric Thomas and Bob Proctor for this, scenario I just set out. Beautiful, wonderful, inspirational, motivational, on fire. They keep your soul burning. If you could check out some of their material, that'd be awesome. It would definitely push you to another level within yourself you never knew was there. But as far as Lex goes, my own personal things, I've seen it hurts people when you have people let you down. But the value system that we keep placing upon ourselves and the value system that we keep letting other people give us, because the moment that we see that we're to a point to where we want to humble ourselves and say, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm doing. I'm here. I'm giving God's light through me. I'm giving God's love through me. I have this going on. I try to give as much as I can, but I'm going to humble myself and I'm going to come down to a level. Even though I'm saying that I am this level, I'm still placing myself at the level where I see myself. Me, a single mom, raising it, doing it all, working her little behind off, grinding, doing what she has to do, making sure she gives the heart's ministry and the soul's ministry more than just taking a note from a book and telling you to look, taking the beam and the plank out of your own eye before you judge your brother or your sister. It's just the whole point. I wasn't giving myself enough. I was looking at it to the point where I was saying, oh, okay, well, this is fine, and giving advice to other people and different levels. Sometimes you can see a mirror reflection of where you are yourself. And I'm looking at it like, wow, it's not the point that a person will try to, and they could, but most people, they thrive off of the value system you place yourself, even though they know you're too good for them or your worth is too high for them because of where they stand and where they don't want to elevate themselves up to be near you. They try to bring you down to where they are, or, in this simple fact, they try to feed off of where you see your value system at, so it could elevate them to feel some kind of, high level over you or some inferiority complex. So in my own personal experience I've gained during this week and the last few weeks too, I've learned a lot about myself. I've been probably having 75-hour weeks, and I'm thankful that I can even have that. But eventually it's not going to slow down, but it's going to mellow out to the more passionate side of things and giving my 100,000% to it, as well as what I'm doing right now. So I looked at it and I'm sitting here like, one of my good friends, supposed to be a real deepness, and I call it friends because that's the only way I know how to describe it. You can't call it a lover. You can't call it a best friend. You can't put a name on something that you barely even feel that's there. So most people say an associate. Yeah, that's someone you might say hi and bye to and laugh a few times, but a friend who knows you a little bit more through the years and has spent some time with you. But when it comes down to the value system of that, I look at it like, any person that comes in my life could be a potential fiance. Any person that comes in my life could be a potential best friend, a potential husband, whatever their placement and their value is between each other. That's how I feel, right? So one day it could be, I love Mr. Robinson. Next day it could be, I love Mr. Duran. Next day it could be, I love Mr. Abrahamson. Next day it could be, I love, Mr. Tinsley. It's an example of a clause of life. But the moment that I start noticing the value system being placed on me, it was kind of like a silent partner, should I say? And I wasn't even realizing it. But when I heard that from Dr. I call him Dr. E. Everybody calls him E, Dr. Eric Thomas, of how he was breaking that down, I started looking at it more from a point of still what I'm putting into my work and what I'm doing with separate things out here. But I looked at it from a different point, like, I'm sitting here and I can't get barely a text message. I can't get barely a phone call from this so-called person that's so supposed to be so significant in my life, but I can't even get any response mechanism. But yet they're steadily asking me for, hey, why don't you take a selfie, or why don't you, send me some encouragement? Why don't you lift me up? And that's what I do all the time anyway. I'm always sending some kind of encouragement, some kind of happiness to everyone out there. That's just what my heart calls for and my spirit yearns for. I like to learn to teach others and to learn how to teach myself more things and elevate us all to a level where we belong. But when I started seeing different things come in there, I was like, wow. Like, that's what it comes down to. It's not the point that they look at you so low or to a lower value system. It's to the point that we don't value ourselves enough to make and demand that others put us on that value system where we belong. I'm seeing myself from, this is a woman that's still here. I'm trying to grind through life. I'm trying to make my thing. My mom did it on her own. I can do it on my own. I'm always have my strength. I don't need nothing from nobody. I'm going to do what I have to do. And pride or not, it comes down to, this is where I've elevated to now. I've been through it, and I'm still going to be going through different journeys. But at the same time, it's not for me to value where I've been at. It's for me to value where I'm going to and how far I've come within myself, how much materials I've gained within my knowledge and experience. How much love have I been able to give off to the spirit flowing through me to others? How many lives have I changed through my words and the love that's been given to give to others alone? Excuse me, that's my hoarseness coming out, but I'm trying to not keep it so strong so you guys don't have to hear so much raspiness in my voice. But that's what it all angles up to. It's like, and it's not the point that we want to have that inferiority complex too, where, oh, well, I'm high and mighty, so you need to do what I have to say in order to get what you need to get. No, it's knowing who you are within yourself, loving who you are within yourself, to understand that even though things are going to hurt and they might irritate you, you have to learn how to let things go. Not necessarily push it away, but let it be. Okay, even if it's a silent partner. But I refuse, and I learned that from that moment. I'm like, wow, why am I chasing after the rabbit when I'm the one with the carrot? The rabbit should be chasing after me. Okay, let me say that one more time. Why am I chasing after the rabbit when I'm holding the carrot, when the rabbit should be chasing after me, who's holding the carrot, right? I'm the one that they need to have that nutrients from, because it's not the other way around. If I'm running with the carrot in my hand, or the carrot itself running behind the rabbit, I'm chasing it to have the nourishment. I'm chasing it to have more self-sufficiency. I'm chasing it to taste the goodness of what I am and what I'll enrich in their lives. And in return, maybe being in their system, I'll get some enrichment too, right? This is a good breakdown of an analogy. So I'm saying, if that rabbit's sitting there steady going around, biting off of this leaf, jumping over here, jumping over there, hop, hop, hippity hop, and it says, oh, you got the carrot that I need, but let me go ahead and manipulate the situation. Let me nibble as much as I can, and I'm going to make you chase after me for something that I desire and I need and I know that I want in my life. So what it comes down to, if you can understand exactly what I'm saying, if you have any more questions upon this certain segment or any other segment, you can reach us again at support. But what I'm saying to this is, you have to realize it's not where you were. You can look at where you were and understand and hold on to that when you need to have that strength or more deeper understanding. It's not where you were that you have to keep your mental altitude at and your value system placed at. And that might not have been bad at all where you were. But the whole point is where you are now, where you're evolving now, where you're headed to now, where you've been heading to, how far you came through yourself, how far you came through to others. It's not the point of, okay, well, this is where I see myself. No, any person that deals with you or is around you or has something to do with your life has every aspect to treat you exactly as such. And they know, just for the fact that they desire in some way, shape, or form, even if they're trying to play it off like they're not, they're still trying to keep you around or keep their foot in the water of your pond. They know exactly where your value system is. And they're hoping, since they can't feel their own value system, since they don't see any value system within themselves because they choose to, because they're not elevating themselves to a different level, not more than just reading books and pretending or trying to come off self-educated, but being educated in life and the spirit. There's a difference between educational purposes and educational self-inner. You have to define those two lines. Anyone can be book smart, but it's the person who is social smart, life smart, spirit filled, all those kind of smart elements, book smart, everything into one. You don't want to just be one component. You want to be one component of many components that come together as one great component. There's a difference between that. So what I've decided to do from that, I'm going to end that off. We'll probably pick this up again on the next show, whatever. Slice of everyday life, right? So what I'm going to put from that is I told myself, 'cause my mind churns things out. I think about it so much. I break it down. And maybe you can relate to this. It's just, why? Why even put myself through it? Why am I even caring enough to have my system placed within that? You shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to tell anybody, say that. Some people just don't have good common sense, or some people just don't care enough. But at the end of the day, when we have to make someone start wondering how we are, or getting to a point to where we're trying to figure them out because their behavior is so strange to us, that's when I feel myself. You can choose otherwise for yourself. I feel like that's time for you to set back in yourself and say, okay, my value is too great and too high. Not to the point where I'm looking at them down as scum on the earth, but to the point where I know that I'm not low enough for them to keep stepping on me. I know that I have to separate myself from this person or these people because they're trying to place my value system at where they desire or they wish they could be at the level where I'm at because they choose otherwise. So that's what I've put in me. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'd rather be by myself and bad. But I'm never going to be alone because I always have the Creator. We always have the Great Spirit. We have the elements of the Heavenly Father no matter how we look at things. So that's what it is. More people spend more time knowing yourself, getting to love yourself, and finding out who you are and what you like and what you desire and your passions. We wouldn't be chasing everything that caught our attention, every little message that made us go off the chain. That's what it's all about. It's all about getting to know who we are. That it's getting to know exactly what depths we're willing to take, and it's all about getting to know what it's all about. And I'll just leave it at that. Know your self-value and feel your self-worth before you let anybody else place their value system on you. Regardless if it's the multi-billionaire, the most philanthropist, the biggest award winner, whatever they want to put on a stipulation to you, remember, whatever you reflect inside of yourself is exactly what's reflected outside of yourself. You are the mirror of where you stand. You are the mirror of your life. And you understand that through all means that if the Creator is for you, nothing can ever stand against you. And just have your faith before your hope. Hope is great, and it comes in when you want to feel that belief system. But faith is knowing. Faith is the absence of hoping for something. No. Faith is what you cannot see and is unseen, but you know is going to come to fruition. Every idea that you have, every feeling and thought form that you have, you're everything that you are within yourself without needing anyone else to claim what you are. Embrace who you are, live in who you are, seek who you are, believe in what you are, and everything else will align for you. You are great beyond everything that you will always know. So remember the value that you hold within yourself. Remember the value of what was given for you to live and breathe today. Remember everything that has to come with the value system and all that comes from the mind, from the heart, from the spirit that speaks through you. Don't ever let anybody else's emotions and feelings and time and actions define who you are within yourself and what you're capable of and how far you've been and how far you've went and where you're going. Okay, so I'm going to leave this for you before my voice gets a little crazy. This is your host, Lex, coming to you always straight from the heart. And if you want to reach us, that's at RDDC. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com for any questions, show, feedback, requests, whatever, apparel, insights, whatever you want. And we will be having the Food for the Spirit RDDC book ready for download as soon as when we get the formatting and everything taken care of. And a lot more special prizes and offers coming up. Just keep in touch and let us keep knowing what's in your heart and what things you want to touch base. And you you can also come and be a guest on the show, and just intertwine with us that way as well. So again, we wish you the best, every blessing to you. And for anything else that's coming on in the future, we will definitely be trying to put a point system on that. So just remember to value all the love that was given to you, made of you, and for you to release and have. So as always, the RDDC team and I will always show you and give you the most love. And we love and appreciate all you've given to us. So tune in. Keep listening. Thank you for everything that you have done and everything that you are. And we'll be back with you soon.